Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. We're a few minutes early here, but I want to do something a little different this morning. We've got our regular stuff also, but I just want to take a couple of minutes, full minutes, to sit and breathe. So if you'd like to join me, please feel free to do so. If you decide to fast forward through this part when you're watching after the fact, that is absolutely fine. But I'd invite us to think about the value of just taking a few minutes here and there during the day to breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Nancy. I'm feeling a call for us to just breathe for a couple of minutes before we usually jump in. Good morning, Abigail. We're just breathing. And some of you may have a hard time sitting still for this. Some of you may feel like, can we just get on with the card for the day? Breathe. I think we're all being called to take a break, to stop and to breathe. To pay attention to what's going on within our bodies right here, right now. See if you can take a little deeper breath on the next one. In and out. Good morning, Abigail. I don't even remember if I said good morning to you already. That's why we need to breathe, people. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Settling in, feeling an opening within. Good morning, Gwen. We're just doing some breathing for a couple of minutes before we even start our card. Just being present, just paying attention. What do you notice? What do you notice as you're still and quiet within your own body this morning? What do you notice? I'm noticing the amount of pain I carry in my knees. I did a really long walk yesterday, and A, I need new shoes, and B, my knees hurt. So what's useful about taking a moment and me realizing that? I'm far more likely to buy the shoes. Far more likely. Self-care. Self-care. In, out. In. And on the next out, hold at the bottom. Notice. In this stillness, what do you notice? Good morning, Mel. We're just diving into breathing here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Stillness. Notice. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And I want you to imagine what might happen in your life if you took several times like this throughout the day. If you just paused, if you just did some breathing, if you just allowed. Lots of yawning, yes, and that's a clearing. Let those yawns come, absolutely. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Imagining all your chakras spinning. Good morning, Beth, welcome. Just go up through the chakras and notice them. Root chakra, the base of your spine. Imagine it spinning merrily. Moving up, sacral chakra, below your navel. Imagine it spinning merrily. Breathe into it. Solar plexus, right under your rib cage, your power center. Imagine that spinning merrily. And I like the merrily. I think that's a good thing. Breathe in. Breathe out. And the heart. Our beautiful green heart chakra. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Good morning, Catherine. We're just breathing into our chakras at the moment. Throat chakra. Your center of voice, of speaking your truth. Especially speaking your truth to power. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Your third eye. Right between your brows. Center of wisdom. In through the nose. Hard to sit still. Good to notice that. Just keep breathing into it. Out through the mouth. Most of us are so energized and our adrenals are so fatigued because we're so agitated all the time. Settling into this breath as best you can. And up to the crown chakra, top of your head. Imagine it spinning open, inviting in healing golden light, having a light, energetic exchange with the universe. I'm going to also have you focus on the soles of your feet. There's little chakras there, spinning those open so you can receive with the inhale Mother Earth's energy. And just keep this breath going. Just keep this breath going. Can't tell you how important it is that we take time to pause, that we slow ourselves down, that we have these moments of silence, even when they're uncomfortable, even when we struggle to sit still, even when our committee in our head is chattering. Take the time to settle in anyway. Practice. Interestingly today, a card hopped out of our deck, and it wasn't meant to be the card I read to you, but it is the card we had the last time in this deck, and the reason it hopped out is to remind us of its message, and then move us on to the card for today. There we go. Yes, in alignment with breathing. Let's do it. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Notice if one nostril is more open than the other. Be curious. What messages are coming on the breath? And it's interesting. The counter's going up. It says there's 7 of you watching at the moment, but the same names keep rolling. I've seen Catherine several times. I've seen Mel several times. I've seen Abigail several times. Interesting. So, what I want us to start with today, we're going to help one of our fellow humans here. More than one of our fellow humans. Isn't that cool? We get extra bang for our buck. Rubbing our hands together. Sending out energy. We are sending energy to a little guy named Bennett. Bennett's had a relapse in his walk with leukemia. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. So we're just sending him energy, him and his family. His grandma Mary is on here pretty much every morning. She gets on after her bus run, so she's often not on live, but she jumps on. So she told me yesterday that Bennett is experiencing a relapse with his leukemia. Boy, my hands are buzzing, really buzzing. Sending this awesome little dude some energy. And if we flood him with so much energy that there's surplus, isn't that a lovely thought? The excess going to others who are experiencing the same thing. Those who are doing a cancer walk. Good morning, Angie. Just sending energy. Got to get rid of my broken glasses. Grab the tissue. But just sending energy. Keep it going. And Bennett's a sensitive little dude from what I've read about him. I've never met him, but he's a sensitive little dude. So I won't be surprised if he picks up that we're sending them energy right now. And throughout the day, maybe every time you stop, because I've given you a call to action to stop, pause, breathe, be in the stillness several times today. Maybe send a little energy to Bennett each time. To Bennett and all those doing a cancer walk at this point. We're not fighting, we're not battling, we're not playing that game. In fact, we as a nation are done with fighting and battling. Remember the saying, the dying donkey kicks the hardest. Some of this stuff is going out, unfortunately, with a bang, but it is going out. It's on its way out. We're done with this. So, and this fits so beautifully with our cards today. This fits so beautifully with our cards today. So you can keep sending energy. That's cool. I will tell us. God, there's so many synchronicities coming together with this. It is no surprise that we have the Ascended Masters deck by Doreen Virtue, who renounced all of her work in this area. I don't know what happened. My guess is something happened that was very frightening, but she renounced all of her work. We still have her work. She doesn't want to claim it anymore, but it's still part of the common knowledge. So, the card that jumped out of the deck, which was our card from last time, see the other person's point of view. See the other person's point of view. Even if you don't share that point of view, even if that point of view is delivered in a very combative way, see the other person's point of view. That's our path out of this mess. That is our path out of this mess. It does not mean that we agree with that point of view, but the more we can step into even pondering, why would someone choose this point of view? What would lead someone to believe in this path? What would, and oftentimes it's fear. Oftentimes it's fear. And if you can send healing energy to the fearful part of that person who has a point of view that you don't share, how lovely is that? So that was the previous card. Now our current card for today, you ready for this? It is absolutely perfect. Choose peace. Paramahansa Yogananda, choose peace. Could we not ask for a better card? I mean, wow. Wow. So take a breath. Let it go. The retreat center that I go to in Lower Michigan has a portrait of him in one of the cabins. And the energy in that cabin is just lovely. It's called Song of the Morning Ranch. Look it up. Look it up. Maybe you want to do a retreat there. It is a beautiful, beautiful place. And the energy of the people there, just lovely. They recently actually opened up an area where people are building houses. They've got yurts, they've got a gathering space, etc., etc. But now people are choosing to move there, to build houses there. And one of my favorite card decks, the Nature Portals deck by Bruce and Carol Malner, they now live there. They bought a house there. So choose peace. Choose peace. So I want you to think about a situation. You might be thinking about our national situation, our international situation, maybe a situation closer to home for yourself, but think about a situation that is fraught right now. Perhaps it's confusing, perhaps it's upsetting, perhaps it feels out of control. Just think about a situation in your life that fits this, and then apply this wisdom to this, okay? In this situation, choose the path of peace. As you think about your various options and possible outcomes, which brings the greatest feeling of peace to your body and mind? This is your answer. Isn't that an interesting way to think about making decisions? Which brings the greatest peace to my body and mind? I will choose that. Isn't that interesting? Think about that. Take a breath. If we allowed that, I'm going to call it an internal wisdom to guide us in the direction of our greatest peace. And that oftentimes what gives us the greatest peace is going to offer peace to those around us. Yes? Additional meanings for this card. Listen to your heart's truth. There is always a peaceful alternative to conflict. There is always a peaceful alternative to conflict. This is a realm that we are being drawn into that's new for many of us. We are a highly combative nation. Highly combative. We know how to fight, right? We know how to fight. Do we know how to peace? That's our next step. Learning how to peace. Practicing peace. Being peace. Let's make it a noun, a verb, an adjective, the whole thing, right? Breathe. Your peacefulness elevates your energy and helps you manifest your desires. How many of you have been feeling heavy, weighted down, burdened lately? Your peacefulness elevates your energy and helps you manifest your desires. Can you walk in peace? Can you feel that lightness of being? If you look at the people who do peace well, they're very joyful people, oftentimes. Very joyful people. Meditate and do yoga as a way of attaining inner peace. Again, there's some stuff going around the internet about how meditating and yoga opens you up to the devil and blah, blah, blah. Can you feel the fear energy in that perspective? That limited, locked down perspective. There's fear in there. Send energy to that fear. Hopefully we can imagine it. I guess I see that fear as a knot. And sending this energy can help untie that knot. And open people who believe fearful thoughts like that to a place of peace. To a place of peace. So now let me tell you a little bit about Paramahansa Yogananda, the beloved author of Autobiography of a Yogi, who popularized yoga and meditation in the West. Yogananda's books and teachings emphasize the oneness of all spiritual and religious paths. So when there's a path that has limitations built into it, such as if you don't believe what we believe, you're going to hell, this is a path beyond that the oneness of all spiritual and religious paths. And focus upon developing a deep love connection with God, with spirit, with nature, with universe, however you frame it. I like spirit. Spirit works for me. Call upon Yogananda for guidance on your own spiritual path, as well as help in developing your meditation and yoga practices. Oftentimes people will tap a spiritual director, either formally within their faith community or informally. We read a book. I had supper last night with a dear friend of mine, Megan, and she and I were talking about, we met kind of over a book and the energy of that book and how it served each of us. And in the book, it actually says, don't foist this book on other people. If someone wants to know about the book, they'll ask you. They'll ask you. So if any of you want to know about the book, go ahead and ask, and I'll put the title of the book in the feed, and you can check it out for yourself and come to your own conclusions. It's not my job to tell you what to think, right? Each of us has our path to walk. And while many of those paths run parallel, or run parallel for a period of time, each path is unique. Each path is unique. And again, think about a diamond. All the facets to a diamond, or any gem, we're those facets in the oneness. We're those facets, and each one is a little different and unique and beautiful. So again, let's do a little bit of breathing. In through the nose, Out through the mouth. All right, I will let you know when I fill in the answers to everybody's greetings, etc. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And may you find yourself today just taking nice, deep, spontaneous breaths and a smile coming across your face because you know these seeds have been planted. It's time to breathe deeply. It's time to walk in peace. It's time to practice faith and trust. It's time to send good, healing, loving energy to all. It's time to practice the oneness. Have an awesome day this fine Tuesday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.